Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today it's a quick 31 mile local ride starting in Derby at the Museum of Making, along the Cloud Trail to Cloud Hill Quarry, back and then across over to Elvaston Castle Country Park, round there, along the river, back to the start at the Derby Museum of Making. Today it's a little bit of a nightmare because I've had an issue with my rear tyre constantly deflating, so I've taken it off, retaped the wheel, checked all the holes, puncture repaired all the holes in the tyre, put it back on. It stayed up overnight. Today's the first day I've come back out on it, and my god, I've had to stop 3 times now to put air back in, and I've noticed there was a tiny little minute hole right by the bead on the rim, so it wasn't leaking out under the edge on the rim, but from a little tiny hole. So I've actually just puncture plugged it. It seems to be okay, so let's hope we can make it to Cloud Hill Quarry and all the way back. Not too sure. I'm just going to have a check on it. I'm just going to do another mile or two because I've just used my last CO2 cartridge. First 2 times I pumped my hands, I've got a sore hand. Anyway, let's see if it lasts and see if I can get this right done, because I've also got to do this similar tomorrow with my friend Chris, 118. Anyway, as always, there'll be a link to my commute map of the route in the description below if I make this whole ride backwards and forwards. As you can see, it's dark grey, gloomy, wet, miserable, misty, the odd bit of rain. As always, enjoy. See you in a bit. Oh! To your left. Cheers. So warm, it's unreal, even though it's wet, dark, misty, rainy, some sort of mega storm coming. And when we come back, we'll be coming back, going over that bridge and going that way and up the road and then across over to Elvaston Castle. This is, well, it's the Cloud Trail all the way from Derby Museum of Making all the way down to Cloud Hill Quarry, round the quarry and back, and then across to Elvaston Castle. And my tyre looks like it's deflated again. I'll see if it holds up, boys and girls. Otherwise I've got a very, very, very long walk. Then again, I have also got a inner tube in my bag. But obviously I've only just freshly reseated the tyre and fresh new sealant, so I did have to put in a tube in. I will get very, 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 very messy anyway, because see what goes on. Never used a puncture plug, and it's not exactly the ideal place to use one on an outside wall right by the bead wire. Must have been like a snake bite, because it only happened last Saturday when I went out with my son in the Peak District. Oh, it's electric. Oh, pardon me. Although I've been here once or twice before, I've never been round the quarry, which is what we're doing. We're following loop round the quarry and back the way we came, and then getting off the Cloud Trail at the Trent Mersey Canal instead of following it back up through Derby to the Museum of Making. We'll then be going over across to Elvaston Castle Country Park and then back along the river. Viewing point up there. Can you get up there to have a look? Let's go back this way, let's have a little look. Is there like a view? Oh wow! Look at that! Jesus Christ! Bloody Nora. Look at that, boys and girls. Frig me. How deep is that? Jesus. Friggin' Nora. Oh, I didn't realise it was that deep. Jesus Christ. Wow. Flipping heck. That's seriously one impressively big deep quarry. I didn't realise that. All few years I've gone past this road, past it in there, I didn't realise it was such a big hole in the ground. Wow. Cloud Hill Quarry. Very impressive. Books going in my ears. So normally we go down there, boys and girls, and follow the Cloud Trail all the way back up to the middle of Derby to the Museum of Making. Carrying on here and getting off onto the road and going across the countryside to Elvaston Castle Country Park. Through there, onto the river, well, not on the river but along the river, back up to the start. Oh, I'm so glad that I managed to fix the air leak on my rear tyre, because it was almost a game-changing time to limp back home, because it was absolutely peeing out because of its location right up against the rim and the bead. The sealant wasn't working, and it wasn't like a rim seat issue. It was actually a little tiny hole just along the rim edge. Right, this is coming up to Elvaston Castle Country Park now, boys and girls. I wasn't going to go round the estate, I was just going to cut through, but seeing as the weather's alright and battery level's okay and tyres okay now, we'll do a quick circuit round the estate. Round the outside, it's a bridle path and you're allowed to cycle. They just rather you don't cycle around in the middle. An amazing ride so far, boys and girls, apart from first hour or so I had to keep faffing around with my rear wheel, so I found Cheers. All right.